Hello, wonderful people. Welcome back to this wonderful channel where we bring you back-to-back update and information as it dey hot. If this is your first time of joining us on this wonderful channel, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel, like, comment, and share. Meanwhile, let's go down to the news as it dey hot. They say court don't deliver judgment in Nnamdi Kanu's suit against the DSS. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has filed a suit against the DSS because lately you remember that he has not been allowed access to his medical doctors, his physicians, and he has filed a lot of suit against that. And it seems as if this time it is going to favor MNK Ahmadike, one of Ndibo, even though there is a little katakata between Aloy Ejimako, Mike Ozekome, and Ifeanyi Ejiofor, and also Kalonta Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's family. But let's go down to this information so that you can see it as it is hot. Please go ahead and subscribe. The court fixes a date for judgment after Mr. Kanu's and SSS lawyers argued the suit concerning the IPOB leader access to his medical doctor in custody. The Federal High Court, Abuja, on Tuesday slated 20th July for judgment in a suit filed by Nnamdi Kanu, the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, against Nigeria's spy agency, the State Security Service. Mr. Kanu is seeking an order to allow him unhindered access to his medical doctors while in custody. Bintanyako, the judge, fixed the date for judgment after hearing of the civil case launched by the IPOB leader to seek a relaxation of restriction he faces in SSS custody. Mrs. Nyako is also the judge that handled the dismissed criminal case involving terrorism and treasonable felony charge filed against Mr. Kanu by the federal government over his secessionist campaign for an independent Biafra nation comprising mainly 5 Igbo-dominated states in the southeast Nigeria. The Court of Appeal terminated the case in a judgment in October last year, citing the irregularities in the manner Mr. Kanu was captured in Kenya and brought back to Nigeria to continue facing his trial that was paused after he fled the country in 2017. Well, meanwhile, they keep saying that Kanu fled the country in 2017, but you could remember that there was a military invasion in Afaruku Ibeku, Abia State, where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu hails from, and according to information that we gathered then, that about 50 or close to 50 people lost their life during that invasion, and it was on that process that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu escaped Nigeria because one who will stand in the court of law will be alive to do that. Meanwhile, let's continue. Mr. Kanu is being held in custody pending the Supreme Court's final determination of the federal government's appeal against the Court of Appeal's decision. During Thursday's hearing, Mr. Kanu's lawyer, Mike Ozekome, a senior advocate of Nigeria, SAN, a lawyer to the SSS, A.M. Danlami, adopted their process and presented their argument for and against the suit. The news agency of Nigeria Now reports that Mr. Kanu, through his team of lawyers led by Mr. Ozekome, had sued the SSS and its Director General in the suit marked FHC ABJ CS 2341-2022. He prayed the court for an order compelling SSS to allow him have unhindered access to his medical doctor, among others. The suit, by its nature, required the plaintiff to first obtain the leave of the court to approve of its filing. The court had on 1st February granted Mr. Kanu the permission to apply for the order of mandamus he sought in an ex parte motion moved by Mr. Ozekome. But in a preliminary objection filed by the SSS, the court outfit urged the court to dismiss the suit for want of jurisdiction. It argued that there was a submission judgment of a sister court delivered by Taiwo now a retired judge of the Federal High Court, on 3rd June 2022 in the suit mark FHC/ABJ/CS/1585/2021 between Mr. Kanu and Director General of SSS and two others, wherein the court dealt substantially with the issue of allowing the IPOB leader access to his personal physicians. He said the instant suit was similar to the earlier one and that Mr. Kanu had filed the appeal against the judgment arising from it. Mr. Ozekome said Tuesday that the SSS had flouted an earlier order of Mr. Yako's directing that Mr. Kanu be allowed access to his personal doctor while in custody. The senior lawyer argued that the act was against Section 7 of the Anti-Torture Act. He said 10 exhibits were attached to the affidavit and that 2 of the exhibits detailed Mr. Kanu's medical report before he was renditioned from Kenya on 27 June 2021 and a medical report of his present health status. So the proceeding is still currently going on, and it is left for the court to decide whether Kanu will be allowed freedom to visit his personal physician or not. But of course, you know that one cannot be answering case when he is dead. It is only the living that can answer to any case that is against that person. It is when you are living that you'll be able to do that. Also, UK Court of Appeal has also fixed a date to hear Nnamdi Kanu's case as lawyer blasts government. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer has blasted government, wanting to know why, what happened, what is really going on, that a citizen of the United Kingdom is currently held in the custody of the DSS in Nigeria, and nothing has been done about that. So Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer from BDMAS has blasted the UK government because he actually wants to know what is going on. So since Nnamdi Kanu and the UK have said that upon this case, they will be able to determine what will happen to any UK citizen that travels out of the UK or that has, whether you are a citizen by birth or citizen by papers. This court, the Nnamdi Kanu's case, will enable them to determine, because they say that it is not clear in their constitution what will happen to a citizen who travels outside the UK and have issue, or maybe is facing one court case or the other outside of the UK, that it is not clear in their constitution what would happen to such an individual. So they say that upon Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case, it is going to make history, that they will be able to come to a conclusion to know whether if a UK citizen travels out of UK, whether the UK government will be responsible for such individual, in order to cater for what happens to that individual, or whether the UK government will not pay attention to that. So they say that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case will now set record upon that. They will be able to decide what is going to happen. Meanwhile, I think also that the UK should emulate the American government, who tries their best to make sure that any citizen of America who has issue outside of America is catered for, whether a citizen by birth or whether a citizen by papers. Now, IPOB accuses Tinubu government of planning to kidnap, kill, or rendition key members living abroad to Nigeria. Now, wow, this one is also coming to our notice that IPOB has accused the government of trying to rendition key members living abroad to Nigeria. So they say that if you are an IPOB member living abroad, it means that the government will find one way or the other to hunt for you and make sure that you are brought back to Nigeria. Meanwhile, I will still bring you the full details of that information on another news so that you'll be able to. That's why you need to stay on this channel, because this channel is the favorite place that you can get all the important news that you need. So I'll be going through that information to make sure that I clarify you on that news. Meanwhile, I'll be winding down the curtain here, and if this is your first time of joining us on this channel, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel.